You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh, how
you know what time it is. I'm raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. How y'all doing tonight? And Mello, how was your day?
Man, I'm good. How you doing, brother?
I'm pretty good, man. Passed out some posters today for. It's pretty weird passing out posters for a missing raccoon. People look at you kind of crazy, but and it is what it is, dude. You know what I mean? Gotta find that little dude.
Yes, sir.
No, all is well, man. Had a couple interviews scheduled for this show, but sometimes it's hard to gather people together. Both of our interviews today couldn't make it, so we'll try to get Deuce back on for sure. We'll keep up with him and see how that's going. But chat, you know what to do, man. Hit that like button for us if you could, and take this moment while we're at the beginning of the show. Share this feed on your X account, Instagram, Facebook, the whole 9 yards for us. If you could, that'd be a huge help. The super chats are up and running, man. Become a member if you want to help the channel out in some type of way. Yeah, so that's what it is, man. I was very pumped about the Buckeye news that we received today about Mark Pantoni finally signing his contract. We haven't talked about that much on this channel, but it's been something I've been looking at and waiting for, thinking, what the heck's going on here? I mean, I wasn't too concerned because I figured, dude, I mean, Ryan Day knows the value of Mark Pantoni and is going to make this thing happen, especially with the coaching moves that he's been making. So the fans aren't going to receive it like this. I mean, us crazy fans that are here watching this and listening to me, we probably will be excited about this, but your average fan is not going to realize how important this is. But I'm putting this as one of the most important offseason things to happen, because losing Mark Pantoni would have been bad, man. He's up there. He's not Ryan Day. He might not even be Mick, but shoot, dude, he's number 3, number 4.
I got number 2.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, that's what I'm saying.
He makes everything happen. He's basically he is the GM, and I brought it up before that he was operating without a contract, but I wasn't super alarmed because I figured if he wanted to, he could have left for free. Basically, I knew they were working on something. He is by far the best GM in all of college football. He is the guru. He is the creator. He is ground zero for that position. So he started off in Florida. Urban Meyer brought him up here when he came, and the recruiting at Ohio State hasn't been the same since. It has taken off, taken flight. He is absolutely imperative to keep, because he's the reason these guys are picking him. Watch what this 26 class is about to shape up to be. And a lot of it is going to be because of him. He's in the back room brokering deals, punching the numbers and making sure everything matches. And then he's over there also raising the NIL funds, working with Cardell Jones and all those guys in the foundation. So it's pretty awesome. You know, where we have some special stuff for you guys today, and I'm just excited about just our confirmation on what we've already put out there about everything.
Yeah, for sure. We're talking about recruiting Mark Pantoni, so I know I'm switching the order up here, but I think we should hit on some recruiting things that are going on right now. I am currently on a different screen pulling up the Carson Baker running back out of Langston Hughes.
Aaron Nolan and Jelani Thurman's high school. That's where Langston Hughes is. That kid, he's pretty good, man.
Yeah. I didn't plan on doing this chat, so bear with me. Mello, you might have to. That's what I'm going to bring up. He's been Fong bombed to Ohio State, which is horrible news. That is not the news I wanted to hear. I would rather there be no Fong bomb put in at all.
But Mark Pantoni is going to be key to wheeling in the big fish like Tyler Atkinson, who's going to be on campus this weekend, Caden Dixon-Wyatt, who's going to be on campus this weekend, and I believe Deuce Geralds going to be on campus this weekend as well. So,
Felix Ojo.
A lot of big fish are going to be there, so we need to close these guys out, period. Just what it is. This is going to be a huge weekend, and having the structure and the support system and the staff in place that's going to be here for years to come is always a reassuring sign to the recruits. And also not having any NOAs also helps.
Yeah, I cannot get Carson Baker's highlight film pulled up. It currently just made me extremely mad because the computer's not cooperating, but runs a 10-600 meter, kind of out of nowhere, man. I knew the Buckeyes had offered him and were interested in him and stuff, but this isn't somebody who I put like high and that, chances of us getting him. You got Favor Akee, you got Savion Hyder, and Derek Cooper. Those were like the number 1 and number 2 that Ohio State was going after. Then Favor Akee showed up on the scene, and I think he was probably the number 3 that they're going after. Well, you got Carson Baker coming in here, and they just offered another 3-star running back that Carlos Lachlan really, really likes. So I feel good where we're at with the running back room.
How many do you think we take?
That's I was literally about to bring that up. I hear people talking about we're going to take one. Man, I don't see that in a million years. I think we're taking 2 running backs. I know we took 3 last year, but that's because we had a barren running back room already. We got to take 2 running backs. Like 2 running backs is what should be taken. I feel like every class. I think that's what the number they're going for. I think that's what they want.
Who would be your 2 running backs?
I want Favor Akee in the class for sure. And honestly, I mean, if we ended up with Favor Akee and Carson Baker, is that his name? Yeah. I'll be thrilled. I'll be happy. Carson Baker, he's a speed demon, man. I watched his film today. I like him. Savion Hyder and Derek Cooper, they're really good running backs. But dude, I don't know, man. I'm a little bit different with like running back recruiting. It's not that I don't put a lot of weight on it. It's very important. I just think there's a lot of good running backs. I really, really do. And I think if you have those base set of skills and you come to Ohio State, Carlos Lachlan and Mick are going to turn you into a superstar, man. They just are. I don't know. I got to dig into that one day and see and learn more about the running back position and see, because there's just a lot of fast, a lot of quick, a lot of agile, a lot of smart football players out there that play the running back position. I think a lot of it is mentality, attitude, work ethic, like a lot of the other positions, but that's just how I view it. And I would be thrilled with a Favor Akee and a Carson Baker. But, like our running backs last year, I think, Isaiah, he wasn't ranked highly at all. Turbo Rogers was, Bo Jackson was, but he still wasn't ranked very high. But you look at Bo Jackson, he was, I forget, like some places had him as like the number 10 running back in the nation. When I watch his film, I'm like, how does he not the number 1 running back? Then I watched.
He was a part of that whole drop all the Ohio State recruits rankings.
Exactly. But I just think there's a lot of good running backs, man. And when you come to
I'm going to tell you right now, I think they take 3. The reason I say 3 is because you're going to take Favor Akee's commitment. Because if you offer Ohio kid, you have to take their commitment. Otherwise, you end up burning bridges in the state of Ohio. So he's a lot to come in. Carlos Baker, you're going to take his commitment. Now, Derek Cooper wants to commit, you're taking his. And the reason I feel Derek Cooper is the number 1 running back, not Savion Hitter. And the reason is you have to, in high school, the competition is not equal across the different states. It's just not. And you know what he's playing against. He's playing against probably, I say, the third or fourth highest competitions nationally. And he's doing what he's doing at Chaminade Madonna. You already have access to that school through JJ and through KJ. So you want to keep those doors open and those wheels turning. And he's really like that. Now, I got to see Baker at a track meet. Their 4x4 team is ridiculous. They got his wide receiver ran 10 flat 100, bro. He's going to UVA.
Dang, bro.
Their 4x4 team just broke the state record. I forget what it was, but they broke the state 4x100.
And he's one of the runners?
Yeah. Their 4x1 team broke the state record. They're ridiculously fast. So you're taking him. That speed, you can't really teach the breakaway speed. And favorite key is favorite key. I like his game. But in terms of all the quarterbacks in the country, I honestly think Derek Cooper is the best one. Yeah.
I mean, dude, favorite key and Carson Baker are two top 10 running backs in the nation. Like that's the real deal. I mean, favorite key is raising up the ranking boards, but over on Rivals, he's a top 10, I do believe. And Carson, he's he's number 138 player nationally. So, but they're big time running backs for sure. Yeah. And if you sign both those and Savion or Derek Cooper went in there, they're definitely take him. I will mention this. I think we're a lot closer with Savion Hyder than most people actually realize. Last time Savion was here, he had a long conversation with Travion Henderson, another running back, number 1 running back out of Virginia. So, I mean, dude, it's Ohio State is so attractive to come to, especially at the running back position. Dude, it's like every position. But speaking of the running back position, what Ohio State just did with 2 elite running backs that are going to be gone in the first 2 rounds of the draft, recruits see that, man. Yep. They see Carlos Loughlin in his interviews, the energy he has, how he's real and how he teaches, man. Players want to come there. And I believe Savion wants to come there. If it doesn't come down to highest bidder gets this, I mean, I think Ohio State is right there right now with him. And the recruiting momentum that Ohio State has right now, I've personally never felt this much momentum. And it comes down to the staff that Ryan Day has acquired this year, what he did, man. I mean, this
absolutely. You're 100% correct. And that's the thing. That's why I asked, how many running backs would you take and who would you take? Because I feel like Ohio State's in a position that they might have to tell somebody no. You know what I mean? So and I think that tell somebody no is going to end up coming between Derek Cooper and Savion Hyder, because I feel like the other 2 are going to jump in the boat before those 2 do. And they're going to accept their commitments. So then it comes between Derek Cooper and Savion Hyder. Personally, I prefer Derek Cooper, but everybody has their own preference. Yeah. Either way, I don't think you could go wrong. I think they're both elite. I just like Derek Cooper's size and speed a little bit better, and knowing the competition that he played.
I don't share that sentiment with you. I think if Favorite Key and Carson are signed, I think Derek Cooper and Savion would lose interest. I don't think that would happen. I hope it does. And, with recruiting these days, you could 100% be right. There's a lot of reasons why you could be right. The Derek Cooper, the relationships that he has with some of our players on the team, different things like that. But another position that I do believe we will be turning players away from, this will be music to Ohio State fans' ears, is the offensive line. Let me just tell you a couple names that we are, the top 2 for sure right now. Champ Smith, Evan Goodwin, Darius Gray, Drew Evers, Dayron Parks.
Evan Goodwin.
I think I already said him. At least I tried to say him. Evan Goodwin.
Jackson Cantwell.
Micah he wouldn't be on my list. But
I don't think he's coming.
Yeah, Felix Ojo. So there you go. Micah, Evan, Felix, Drew Evers, Dayron Parks, Darius Gray. I think we're all top 2 on those. We're going to hear from Felix Ojo right after his visit. We'll be interviewing him. We won't be able to do that directly after his visit, unfortunately, but maybe like a week after. We'll get him on here and see where he's at. But that's between Texas and Ohio State. Obviously all the Texas boards say Ohio State doesn't stand a chance and whatnot, but they said that about Devin Sanchez as well. So where's he at? Let me ask you that. Dennis said Ojo has been canceling.
He canceled Notre Dame. He's not canceled us.
Yeah, he's well as of today. When I spoke to him, he's going to Ohio State. So unless something changed in the last 2 hours, Felix Ojo is going on his official visit to Ohio State. But yeah, there's another recruit coming in. I'm going to speak for Mello. I think his favorite recruit in the entire class, rightfully so. A lot of people have him tagged as the #1 player in this class, but recruiting services, they're on this streak of being in love with offensive tackles, which is a little bit weird to me, that a lot of offensive tackles and stuff that's the hardest position to, look ahead for as far as NFL, and they're going out on a limb. So Jackson Cantwell, #1 player in the nation, great, absolute stud. But you look at players like Tyler Atkinson, who we're talking about, who's about to be on official visit, and you're like, I feel more confident in Tyler Atkinson's NFL success than I do Jackson Cantwell's.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you that right now. But
absolutely.
That's just me. But hit us with your thoughts on Tyler Atkinson. And then we'll watch a little bit of Buckeye Boys film for you. Sorry about the noise. We're not going to be able to talk during it. But it's about 2 minutes. So get your popcorn ready, pull your chairs up. We're just going to sit back and we're going to watch this Tyler Atkinson film.
And I have to just put out a disclaimer. Hey, there's a lot of noise around it. We didn't know how to mute it. So just bear with us. I'm not a professional at all. So I am a fan as well. So you'll hear me fanboying out. Tyler Atkinson is just really like that. Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I know the level of competition he's playing. I'm sorry, I don't know much about Missouri high school football. Haven't heard crazy amount of stories about it. Would Jackson Cantwell come down here and do that? Maybe. But I think Deuce Geralds will truck him, honestly. So, let the film speak.
Yeah, here we go. Mel, I wonder, they can't see our mouse, can you? The audience can't see my mouse on the screen, so we're not going to be able to point where Tyler Atkinson is.
So, all right,
what
let me
number
tell you.
is he? Yeah.
Tyler Atkinson is number 16 in the green. And next to him is Anthony Davis, who's number 7. That's the 2 best linebacker tandem in the entire country. Both have offers from Ohio State and every other school in the country. Both are top 10 linebackers ranked on every site in the entire country. They're both on the same team. 16 is Atkinson, 7 is Ant, and they have a D lineman going to Texas, number 99. There's a lot of talent on this Grayson team. They won the 6A state championship, by the way, and beat Carrollton, Juju Lewis's team.
Here we go.
First down and 10. Ball on the 27-yard line. Gain of a yard on the play brings up 2nd down and 9.
Oh my God, look how fast he is, bro.
Taken down by number 47. Make that Atkinson, number 16 on the tackle. start against the Cavaliers. 5-yard penalty. It's a third down and 16.
Did you guys catch that last play or no? Do we need to play it again for you? That was him, correct? That started up the middle, forced a fumble, picked it up, and ran it in for a touchdown.
He didn't pick it up. He
didn't pick it up.
He forced the fumble though, and that quarterback had to leave the game. He never came back in after that.
Well, then he's not that good. Then if you
started on the outside of the DN, did a loop, and ran up the middle where the center was and hawked down the quarterback as he was rolling out.
Yeah, he's the real deal. This will be his 6th time at Ohio State. So to say that the interest is not real will be crazy. I am very intrigued on how this linebacker room kind of works itself out. We already got one in the books with CJ Sana out of Ohio, a very good linebacker. We got Sincere Johnson also on the board. I think he's going to grow into a defensive end. That's just me.
How big is he right now? If you had to,
I forget. I can't tell you. But I remember I got it written down in one of my notebooks. His weight from freshman to now, and where he's growing, and his family size and whatnot. Yeah. I think there's a couple places that are starting to rank him as a defensive end, but I could be way off there. But
he's pretty big, 6'3", 230.
Yeah, so we'll see. But if you get those two, and you include Tyler Atkinson in that, the James Laurinaitis is killing the game with him. Very, very tight relationship. Ohio State has been prepared for Tyler Atkinson for quite some time on the nil front. So I do believe that this is a player that will command Ohio State's attention like J.J. Smith did. Obviously, I'm not comparing both of them like that, so don't take that statement and run with it. But they're prepared to play ball with him, with Felix Ojo. They're prepared to play ball with Tyler Atkinson, probably more than most recruits this cycle, because they know what he is.
Grandpa Buck, yes, they offered him in 8th grade. Honestly, up until this season, I thought we were the leaders for him. And then Kirby kept flying a helicopter to him, which I don't blame him, but I really don't. But Kirby doesn't have a stronghold on Grayson High School. UGA did some stuff back in the day that, quite frankly, just pissed off the administration there and the ADs. So he's never had a stronghold over Grayson. He's never had a stronghold over Buford, which I believe are the two most talented schools in terms of football in the state of Georgia. So we're going to see. I mean, this is a huge visit to have Tyler back up here. And in terms of the JJ, you guys haven't seen a lot of videos, but I do compare him at his position to JJ Smith. I really do. I don't understate that. I think he's going to be a big-time NIL. So it's going to be tough to pull him, but he has a very super tight relationship with James Laurinaitis.
Yeah. The more I see JJ, the more that I kind of put him in his own little category, but be an absolute amazing pickup. I forget the other list of recruits that are coming in. I had it pulled up, and then I pulled up a different page.
Yeah, and for sure. I understand why people would say that, but just remember, a lot of people didn't think JJ was even going to start from day one, and I said from day one he will. I'm telling you right now, Tyler Atkinson is just different, bro. He's just different.
Yeah, for sure.
He is the JJ Smith of linebackers, period. And I came out here and said it first. So whoever gets that kid, is gonna be a special get. And that's
Yeah.
just a little bit of what other clips. I didn't even show you the whole game.
Yeah, Mello sent me all the clips. He's got some pretty wild ones. But yeah, a lot of momentum on the recruiting trail right now. I expect definitely around the spring game for some booms to start happening on social media.
Yes, sir.
I think there's going to be a couple commit to pull the trigger there. Keep an eye. I'll just give you a little hint. Keep an eye on the offensive line recruits there. We'll see if a couple of those pull the trigger. And what was it? Maybe a running back? No. Was it a running back that we were talking about, or no? Just a running back and offensive line. But yeah, so moving on from that, I'm excited where we're headed on the recruiting trail. Moving on from that, man, there's been a lot of talk with updates coming out of spring ball and all this. And I hear a lot of people, including ourselves, it's fun to have these conversations. It's fun to talk about where players are at or what they're doing. What I'm careful of myself is diving into these things too much about the information that we're getting, right?
Yeah.
And here's one of the reasons why, because me and Mello literally talk to people that are at these practices, that are at the scrimmage, that watch them in person the same day and get conflicting information from both parties, right? And that's not to say one is wrong and one's right, but it's kind of like you got some fans that watch Will Howard win a national title and still don't think he was a very good quarterback. So that's what you're dealing with. So all we can do is tell you what we're being told and process this information, but a lot can change, man. In this, Lincoln Keenholz could completely drop out of this race, and it could be between Julian Sain and Tavian St. Clair. You can call me crazy if you want, but that's just the reality, man, of what we're dealing with. Is, yeah, man, we're getting these, details out of spring, but I will never make any definite statements coming out, or try not to anyway, coming out of spring, because so much can change, man. It's spring ball. It's not, they're really focused on each individual player more than they are at teams. Kirk said, it's like the NFL draft. Two guys will watch the same guy and have wildly different opinions on him. Yeah, 100%, man.
What's up, Aunt Chris? I'm sorry I had to get that out.
Yeah, what's up, Chris? I was going to say something smart, but I didn't. Never mind. We got somebody asking us about what's going on with Austin Ward and Jeremy Birmingham. I do not know.
I don't want to speak on that.
Do not care. So,
and yeah, I'm not speaking
until I know the facts. Listen, people, I've been on the bad end of these conversations. Ask my Aunt Chris. I've been in the paper. I've been everything else on the bad end of these conversations, and I just don't have the heart to make assumptions about anybody anymore. Right. Even once the final verdict comes out, man, I've just seen too much. I don't know. I'm just not gonna. I don't really want to speak on it because you just don't know, man.
Exactly.
You could think you know. You can read this or read that on the internet, dude. But if you're not there in their shoes, right beside them every day, then you don't know all the details of everything. And I'm just not one to, even say an opinion on somebody,
especially something that's that serious of allegations. Like,
yeah,
no way,
that's serious. But even with as serious as they are, people make mistakes. Good people make mistakes every single day in this world. They do. Yep. It happens, man. So, but that has nothing to do with them. I just felt like sharing that with everybody. But Mello, you had a conversation with somebody today that was at the spring scrimmage a while back. I believe the first or second one that they had. You want to share us on the intel that you got coming out of that?
So at the scrimmage they were at, basically I was told that TSC looked really good. He stood out. It's not something that you're hearing from the beat or anywhere else. But they said he stood out. Devin Sanchez held his own, made a ton of plays. You're not seeing that. They just show the highlights where Devin is getting beat for whatever reason. I think I have my own opinion on why they're doing that, and it is what it is. I think players know who the good players are, but I think it's also a way to kind of keep players in the fold from hitting the portal. And then I heard that outside of running back and replacing Jack Sawyer, the team looks a lot better than they did last year everywhere else. They said running back is going to probably take a step back for sure, and they need to find a replacement for Jack Sawyer. Everywhere else, they said the team is better than it was last year. And it's something similar to what the players are saying in terms of the defense. If you listen to what JJ said, when we put out our key takeaways from JJ's interview, when they asked him the difference between last year's defense and this year's defense, he said they're fast, they big, and they hit. They like hitting hard. So, I mean, saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I'm even more bullish about what's going to happen next season. I still want to see some more depth on the D line just to lock it in. But outside of there, I'm confident.
Yeah. We already knew that, replacing top two draft picks at running back is going to be a difficult thing to do. But I am not concerned in the slightest about running back. If I'm being honest, the only area that I do have and again, these are Ohio State issues here, like I've explained before. The only area that I am anxious to see what can be done there is the defensive lineman. More specifically, the depth there. I have a lot of faith in K-Mac and Edric Houston. I think those are both. I don't think we got drop off at D tackle as far as starting goes. I just don't. I could see maybe a little drop off on one of our defensive ends because Jack and JT did not get as much love as they deserved, in my opinion, from what I watched. But I just think this defense, I think there's enough skill that this defense is just going to look a little bit different and get equal results. I really, really do. Because picture this, man. I said this a while ago. Me and Mello had this conversation a while ago, but that because we have the lack on the defensive ends, if you want to call it that, there's other players on this team in different positions that can make up for that. Like, for instance, if our defensive ends are having trouble getting to the quarterback or stopping the run, guess what, man? You got Arvell Reese and you got Sonny Styles, bro. And here's what really clicks. And me and Mello had the same exact conversation. This is 3 months ago. We came on here and we said, if Peyton Pierce, if Riley Pettijohn, or if the video we were doing is talking about if we think they're going to get playing time. And we said, if they can get playing time, then that will open up Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese to kind of fill in with the weakness. Again, I'm using that word, even though I don't really think it's a word we should be using, to fill that in, man, because you've heard what other players are saying about Arvell Reese. You see the size of Sonny Styles and what he's able to do. And also you're hearing what in particular Peyton Pierce is doing in practice. If he can fill that spot, the Arvell spot, and cover that allows Arvell Reese to be on the field and be that guy that can put some pressure on the quarterback. And then you add in the final factor, which is Matt Patricia. Because when he was the defensive coordinator for the Patriots, here's what happened. They kept winning and winning and winning. And what does that do to you in the draft? It forces you to start picking lower and lower and lower. So Matt Patricia said this in an interview. He said, we were forced to start picking lower and lower and lower. So we switched our tactics. Instead of going for the positions that we wanted, we just went for the best players that were left, and we utilized them on the field. And theirs weren't always defensive ends and defensive tackles, because the really good ones, they're going to go closer in. But you can find that, Baron Browning, CJ Hicks type of player that are elite lower in the draft and utilize them in the defense to make up for areas that you might be lacking in. That's the coach that we have coaching our defense this year. And you got Elvell Reese. You got Sonny Styles. You got CJ Hicks, man. So you got anything to say that? And I want to talk about CJ Hicks for a second.
Oh yeah, no. You said everything, and then we didn't even bring up the eraser of all erasers and Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
I mean, and our DBs, honestly, this is gonna sound crazy, but I think our DBs are an upgrade even from last season. I think we upgraded the position in terms of what we're going to see on the field. So you're going to see a lot more lockdown on the outside with the wide receivers. And if you can't create separation as a wide receiver, you're in essence turning the team into one-dimensional run game. Good luck trying to keep up with Ohio State scoring wise. But Texas, that's going to be a good test either way because it's pretty much equal talent. The talent is equated. But I feel like we have better coaching, and that's going to be the big difference. And we have Caleb Downs.
Yeah, for sure. So now on to this CJ Hicks thing. We've had several conversations about him, and he's been picking up some steam here lately. And I've heard several people say, got to wait and see, me being one of those people. And then several people that are following the hype and saying, yes, he's going to be killer this year. We've heard people that were at the scrimmages say CJ Hicks looks really, really good, and he's going to be a problem. My question that I want to dive into, chat, this is for you as well, is it fair to be in the wait and see, or is it fair to say, hey, I don't think CJ Hicks is going to pan out like we think? Is that fair? That's my question.
For me, I think it's fair either way because, I mean, you haven't seen what he did, what he has been able to do over the past 3 years as a linebacker. But for me, the reason I was holding out hope, I was more on the positive side for CJ Hicks because I heard that when they said they moved him to the D-line room and then we bringing in Matt Patricia, I said, oh, he's going to know how to use him. And that's what gave me hope. Yes, we still need to see him produce it, but they're going to use him what he's good at, which is rushing the passer. So I have hope for him. If they would have kept him at the linebacker, no, I would be exactly where you were and a lot of other people are in terms of CJ. I don't believe he's a traditional linebacker.
Yeah. Again, this isn't a question to get on anybody's case. I mean, I was on the wait and see, and I'm leaning away from that. I'm leaning more towards, at least myself personally, I'm not sure how fair it really is, even though I see both sides of it. And this is just for conversational purposes, so nobody take this personally. But we've seen him at linebacker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what we've seen him at. We've seen him trying to process all that information that you've had to do at a linebacker. So I'm not sure, because when you watch the film, you can say he's not a good tackler. You can say he's just not getting it. But the truth about it is yes, that's true at the linebacker position.
Right.
The defensive end position is way different.
Way.
So it's almost like I'm not sure if we're able to go back and watch the film and use that as a judgment toward what he's about to do at defensive end. Two completely different positions, two different coaches now, a lot simpler for him. And I think this position just fits his skill sets a little bit more. I mean, trust me, people, I still have the thought in my mind. I forget what game it was where he had an absolute clean shot at the quarterback and just completely biffed it. It might have been the Michigan State game. I feel like it was. No, it wasn't that because it wouldn't have been.
It was earlier. I think it was Nebraska or something.
Yeah, it was not a good not a quarterback that I would think would be able to get away from CJ Hicks, right? But again, man, football's a momentum game, and coming off the bench, not a lot of playing time, and also having just that mind that having those thoughts in your mind of being a linebacker and not getting it down. I'm sure his confidence wasn't really that high. The Marshall game.
It was early. You know why? I remember when you called me. That's why I started laughing when you were talking about it. People, just make sure Be Happy Dev does not call you during the game. Man,
I'll
that
just
was
tell
funny.
you
I
this. I
remember
normally,
that call. I remember where I was at when you called me. We're at TV. I was watching it on everything.
I'm pretty sure it probably sounded like this. I promise you, Mello, I would not have missed that tackle. But anyway, again, it's kind of like, it's kind of like when you're looking at Julian saying, like, how much are you going to judge him for the throws that he made? It's kind of like that, but not really, because the dude's switching position. So it's like we don't have film to go look and see how good he's going to be at the defensive end position. We've seen him line up on the edge, go after the quarterback, but that was while he was playing linebacker and all that stuff. But anyway, I get both sides of it. I just wanted to dive into that and talk about that for a minute.
We have been hearing good things about CJ.
Yes. Yeah. My confidence level, I'm very optimistic about CJ Hicks. And those old thoughts and old visions that I have in my head are slowly starting to go away because of the amount of people. You know what I mean? It's not just like I'm reading articles and stuff. I'm actually hearing it from people.
I want you to touch on something real quick for the people in the chat. They're saying they're very concerned about quarterback position. What can you say to them?
Give me an off season when we weren't. Tell me the last one where we weren't. When there was a new quarterback starting.
Okay, good. What is? For me, I wasn't nervous when Justin Fields came. I didn't care about the spring game, but I've seen him play a lot of ball before he came. So
it's kind of like, dude, this is spring ball, man.
Yeah.
This is spring ball. Nobody is on point right now. I mean, brand new offensive coordinator, a lot of new staff members in the house. You know what I mean? Nobody's really on point, and it's never as bad as it really is. It's just not, dude. This is Ohio State. This is Ryan Day we're talking about, man. It's Ryan Day. He has earned our trust. And trust me,
I have the QB whisperer, period.
Yeah, I have those little fears. I'm not sitting up here acting like I'm somebody perfect and I'm 100% confident in the quarterbacks. No, I'm 100% in Ryan Day. I'm 100% confident that Ryan Day will get it figured out one way or the other. If Ryan Day is not 100% confident that there is a quarterback in that room that can go win a national title this year, he'll go in the portal and freaking get one. He'll do whatever he has to do. I mean, he is ruthless when it comes to his baby, and that is the quarterback position, man. This is Ryan Day, man. He's ruthless. He'll tell Kyle McCord, no, man, this ain't your job. You got to earn it. You got to stay here and earn it if you want it. I mean,
and at the same time, I'm going to just tell you, just from what we're hearing and what we're seeing, even in these clips, one of these three quarterbacks could lead us to another natty. So, like, it's not that bad. Even heard that the quarterback play is going to be better this year. That's what I was also told, just from a pure passing standpoint. And another thing I was told is that, and we've been told with that recruit that came on the other day as well, they love that they made the quarterback live. I didn't realize it was that big of a deal to recruits, but they love the fact that Ryan Day has that in his pedigree, that he doesn't care. They all loved it. So if he's listening, spring ball, keep letting the quarterbacks get hit.
A couple more things to add to that. Offense, it takes way longer to get in a momentum and build those connections with your receivers as a quarterback. That's just done. Every single spring, the defense is ahead of the offense. Every single spring. There's not a spring that doesn't happen.
Super valid point.
And then number two, look at the secondary that these quarterbacks, these first-time quarterbacks, are throwing against. I mean, the second string would be starters anywhere. Aaron Scott, Bryson, Aaron Scott, Devin Sanchez, and Bryce West would probably start or battle for the start at Georgia, Alabama, Oregon. I mean, good Lord. I mean, they would
Oh, yeah, they're
battle.
definitely starting at UGA. They're having DB problems right
Yeah,
now.
like, you kidding me? That's what these quarterbacks got to I mean, that's who they're throwing against, dude. Like Caleb Downs, Jalen McClain, Malik Hartford, Fahim Delane, Leroy Roker. Dude, I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. You know what I mean?
Yep. Miles
So
Lockhart.
I feel like there's just a lot more reasons why that justify the quarterback struggling than there are that don't.
And you also got to add into this that everyone's looking over the fact that we have a new OC.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
100%.
OC has to get chemistry with Billy Fester, who has to get chemistry with the QBs again because it's a whole new system, and then they have to get QB chemistry with their running backs and their wide receivers. Trust me, our quarterbacks are going to be fine.
Yeah,
more than fine.
I believe Eric, Ohio podcast, what up, dude? Said if CJ becomes a starter, who is he replacing? If he doesn't become a starter, can we really say he's reached his 5-star potential? Mello, you can hit on that first. But I love this comment from Bugsy, by the way.
Yeah. No, Bugsy, you're 100% right on top of the growing pains that the offense is going through at the same time. To the Podfather, I don't believe CJ's starting. Like that's a high order, especially when you got Caden and KJ. And then on top of that, in terms of the 5-star potential, listen, the recruiting, we already know the recruiting rankings and all that and the services, they don't matter. They don't mean anything. Those 5 stars go out the window, especially when you step on campus. He has 5-star athleticism. That's undeniable, period. No one can deny that fact. Does he have it up here? And especially at linebacker, he didn't have it up there. But as a defensive end, yes, he could still be valuable. He could still be Baron Browning. He could still go in the league and play for a long time and make a boatload of money with his skill set. So 5-star really is just relative to the person that's judging and looking and watching. I bet you he probably have a 5-star career in the NFL, depending on what team he gets drafted to.
Yeah, I'll say this: the best defensive end we have is Kenyatta Jackson.
No
There's
doubt.
Nobody on the team that's going to come close to replacing him. So that leaves one, Caden Curry. So I'll, for the sake of answering your question, first off, I agree with everything Mello said, but just to answer the question, it would be Caden Curry. Kenyatta Jackson is going to be Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau level. Argue with me if you want, you'll see. It's happening. Yep. And as far as the 5-star potential, can just be honest, no, he has not lived up to the 5-star potential right now. And it would, if he doesn't start, that only means he hasn't reached that 5-star potential yet. But it's going to be that first building block of getting there and reaching that 5-star potential, whatever that is, whatever definition. Everybody's definition of a 5-star is different. I promise it is. But it's not too late for him to do that. Even if he doesn't start, definitely not too late. Still has another year of eligibility. And if he makes it to the NFL, I mean, how many times have we seen college players have better careers in the NFL than in college? So, you know, most recruiting services will tell you that they rank them based off what they're going to do in the NFL. That's where they try to project them to. That's where these rankings come from. So, you know, technically, you can't, if they're doing that, then you can't decide whether they've reached their ranking yet or not until you see them play in the NFL, if we want to get technical about it. So, but I do not believe it's too late for him to get himself back on track there. You know what I mean? If he, if he ends this year with 10 sacks, I'm pretty sure everybody will say, okay, all right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Well,
and that's definitely feasible.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Angie called me. I'm answering the phone. I'm going to see if she has anything to say. Let's not connect.
Tell Angie I said what's up.
This is going to be great. Hold on, everybody. Let me get her on the phone. I'm going to put her on blast. See if she's got anything to say about the Buckeyes. That's, yeah, how many speeding tickets would they have? I love it. Wow. Now she's going to, I shouldn't have done this because she's going to get me now and not answer. Hello? Hola. Hey, I'm live right now and everybody can hear you. Do you have anything to say to Buckeye Nation?
Ayo.
There we go. Nice. Yes. I'll call you back. Bye.
Troy said you got ghosted. He spoke too early.
Yeah. No way, dude. Troy, I thought I did too, man. Be honest with you. I thought she was on here listening and heard me talking this crap. If she knew I was going to do that, she would not have answered.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
All righty, everybody. I am Devin's about to be gone to here for a while, so you'll be seeing Mello's face a lot more on all these shows, and maybe B Moses with them, Kirk Barton with them. We'll try to get them guys line. Whoever Mello gets, you never know. It might be Mr. Womack, Daniel Sanchez, Duke Pettit. You never know, dude. But Mello will be hosting Pop's Pod and doing all that good stuff. So this will be the last time y'all see me for like 10 days, I think. So
man, who said you could go to St. Thomas for 10 days? You didn't ask.
Bro, I got that timeshare in St. Thomas. I'm telling you right now.
Are you taking Angie with you?
Nah.
Are you going solo dolo? You don't even got Cujo to go with you.
I'm going with the family. This is a family trip. I might be selling my business here very shortly, and if I do, Devin's moving to the Virgin Islands. It's happening.
Are you really?
Yes, I love it, dude. It's not.
I love it too.
It's not. So St. Thomas is the island that's not built up. People would call it a poor island. I mean, there's not a building over 2 stories. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. It just gives me that homey vibe. I love those. The locals are, if you know the locals, they're awesome. You know, they're not a big fan of tourists, but I know a lot of them there now. I've been there quite a bit. So if you've never been to St. Thomas, I want to tell you not to go because I don't want my spot getting blown up, but you should go, man. It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's paradise. But all right, here we go. Let's try to get these trivia questions. I've realized, dude, we've asked a lot of these questions in this book. I'm going to have to find another book.
Really? No way. That book is thick.
I know, but some of these questions I can't ask because they're true and false questions. And they're like, what player is not, they're just some questions I cannot ask.
Yeah, because I'm about to say that book is thicker than a bowl of cold grits.
All right, let's give this one a shot, man. If somebody knows this, it's going to be a miracle. All right, chat, you ready? In which year did Ohio State first reach #1 in the country?
They probably have a chance. Still, he's not in the chat.
I know. Tyler got it.
Oh, look at that, Tyler. Stilly would be so proud of you.
All right, Tyler's on the board with a point. There we go. All right. This is along the same lines. Tyler, let's see if you know this. Which team did Ohio State beat in 1952 for its first win over the #1 team in the country? I would guess this correct in 3 guesses. $1952. Which program was really good back then? Dennis! Dennis got it.
I was about to say, I don't know. I wasn't alive.
I know, me neither. All right, Dennis, I think that's your first one. You're now on the board. That one actually counted as 20 points. So Dennis just took the lead. No, that's a point. That's a point. Dennis is my dude, though. Dennis hooked me up in Oregon, man.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody chat. I know it's hard to tell whether there's good people. You know, when you meet people in this chat, it's harder than you think to see what kind of people they are and whatnot.
Right.
Dennis always seems like a good person, you know, in the chat, like he wants to help people and all that. But unfortunately, I'm here to tell you that it's 100% the truth. Dennis is that type of dude. Very good dude, very caring, the whole 9 yards. Dennis is my peeps, man. He's somebody you want to be around. He's somebody you want your kids to be around. He's a good dude. Well, we saw first couple impressions anyway. He might have some secrets that I'm not aware of, but we all do. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Don't
shout
we?
out to
Or no?
Robert in the chat. Shout out to Lisa and Craig, to all the regulars, Troy. We appreciate you guys being here. Dennis, man.
Yeah.
Dennis, we're going to be on the boat. Lunatic, what's up,
Yeah,
baby?
we're
How you
going on
doing,
that.
brother?
Mello, you coming to that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis, don't forget. Dennis, you got to get with me, man. I need to know which hotel room to call and reserve and whatnot, and then anything else I need to reserve. If I
Shout
need
out
to
Grandpa Buck, Mika,
send money,
you know
money
we
now
love
or
you, Mika.
something for the boat or whatever, let me know, Dennis. But yeah, it's a good idea, Mello. Yeah, we're starting to get a lot of regulars in here. Yeah,
Aaron up
Mika,
in
Aaron,
here.
Lunatic, Troy, Steely's normally always in here. Vader with that wrench. We appreciate you, Vader.
Yep.
All our wrenches too. Sean Schrock, Treasure the Torah.
Yep.
I think I gave his back. I tried to, dude. It's so hard to make people wrenches, dude. It's wild, man.
I have no idea. So
you think you'd be able to just you think you'd be able to go just type their name in?
Oh, hold
pop
up.
up, but
Before
you
we
can't
get out
do
of
that.
here, you could talk. Keep talking. We forgot one last video.
Okay.
The Deuce
But yeah, it's
Gerald
very
video.
difficult. You can't just type their name and it pops up. It's really weird. You got to type @ before it, and then not your actual name, but what is the @ on your channel? You know,
Yeah.
like Mika Hanna is @ something. So that's what I got to know. It's very difficult.
I know what you're saying. But
Yeah.
this is Deuce Geralds. We will put more up. This isn't even a defensive play. They moved him to running back in this play. So he's
this
wearing
defensive
orange cleats.
tackle.
He's on the white team, Collins Hills. They're playing Parkview, which is the high school Mike Matthews went to. And he's a wide receiver on Tennessee. You might remember him when Bryce West got in the game and broke up the ball that they threw to him on the sideline. That was Mike Matthews. So that's the high school he's playing. And on offense, they have a guy by the name of Smith that is at UGA right now. He trucked him, but I didn't get to upload that before the show started. But here's Deuce Geralds playing some running back. He also played tight end in this game and split out wide.
All right, let's try not to miss this one. Got about a 10-yard pickup on that carry by Deuce Gerald. Touchdown, Deuce Gerald. Go ahead. He does everything.
He's my number one that I won on the defensive line. I'll tell you
no
that
doubt.
right now.
I think he's the best defensive tackle in the country. And Collins Hills is a heavy, heavy Buckeye school. Their AD graduated from Ohio State, and all the fans, I was wearing Buckeye gear, and they were I was wearing our Buckeye Boys shirt too as well, but Ohio State hat and the camera, and they were all just talking about, yeah, we're all trying to tell him he got to go to Ohio State. And then they were talking about Jordan Hancock because he's from North Gwinnett. So a lot of their older kids that play for Collins Hill had older sons that played with Jordan Hancock, and they're like, and I'm like, you guys know Ohio State? They're like, yeah, who doesn't? Everybody's telling him he's got to go to Ohio State. The whole school, they scream OH at me while I'm walking around the school. The kids, like,
Yeah.
I never experienced that before.
Weren't they giving him crap for taking a visit to Scum?
Oh yeah, when he went to the team up north. So I met his starting quarterback's dad, and he said everybody at the school when he went to visit the team up north, they flat out told him you're despicable, and why would you go up there? That school is about to get hammered. They said this. I didn't bring that up. That's what they said. And they're like, yeah, we
Yeah.
told him he got to go to Ohio State. So we have a lot of support at his high school.
Yeah. Now, for people that's saying he's a Buckeye, I think he is too. But I will tell you this from personal experience: a very difficult read. There's not much. You're not going to be able to communicate to this young man and be able to get anything like, yes,
Concrete.
I know where he's going. You know what I'm saying? But real fast on the Scum thing, because there was this about a month ago. There was this notion that Scum was doing really good at recruiting. Right?
Okay, get into this. Yes,
that they had all this money and they were signing all these big time recruits, getting all these big time recruits on campus and all this stuff. And let me just show you something. Let me just show you.
Please show it. And just remember, these kids get paid to take visits, by the way.
Okay, yeah, here we go. This is going to be great. Yeah, so here we go. This is the team that has all this momentum and all this money. And I honestly shared that sentiment at one time. Like, I thought, oh, yeah, for sure they do. They're going to get all these awesome recruits. All right, so first let's go up here. Could you see that screen, Mello?
It's a little small, but it's doable. You just have to scroll a little slower, read what you want to read.
All right, we got USC at the top. We got Clemson, and I'm about to show you where Scum is. We're going to get there. Ohio State's at 3, LSU, A&M, Kansas. I know it's super early too, so nobody kill me. Tennessee, Arkansas, North Carolina, TCU, Oklahoma State, Rutgers, USF, BYU, Houston, UCLA, San Diego State, Duke, West Virginia, Toledo. Oh, there they are.
How many commits?
3. Oh, yeah, dude. Look at that. They have got them star rankings up, boy. They got that 88
out here. I wonder why they're not getting commits.
Yeah, man.
So I heard today that Savion Hyder's agent went to talk to Team Up North. Nothing, no movement there. I wonder what they're finding out. And they're saying like whoever their GM, they're in flux. They might not even be there. So they have some big time problems. All these Team Up North fans could cope all they want and lie and say there's nothing coming. There's clearly something coming.
Yeah, this time last year they had a top 20 class.
Yeah.
So I'll just put you in perspective. I mean, so
there's something coming. Like, don't feed into them trying to troll and make fun of the situation or take shots at Scoop or Spiral because they said they don't know what they're talking about. They're gonna have egg on their face and they're gonna look real stupid at the end of the day. And when that happens, just make sure you remind them every chance you get. What happened?
Yeah,
keep all the receipts.
Help me with something real fast. Does Scoop or Ohio Pod or us or
Spiro.
any of these Spiro? Well, I don't know about Spiro. He might. Well, maybe he doesn't. Do we take shots at people personally? Like on Twitter?
Be honest with us. We want to know.
And all that. Like, do we? I know the answer. We run our Twitter. The answer is no. We don't. I haven't seen Scoop like really do it either, unless I'm missing something. So it kind of bewilders me when people do that. Like, I just like, they spend a lot of time to make graphics and do all this stuff just to clown on Scoop. And it's like, if it was like friendly banter back and forth and like just about football, I might even laugh at it.
Yeah.
Some point in time, it gets kind of old and you're just like, dang, man, what do these people do for a living? What do they do in their spare time? They spend a lot of energy trying to make people that don't even know who they are,
right,
care about what they got going on. They don't talk about them in their shows. They don't do all this, literally trying to clown people personally. That's what my line is drawn there. So it's kind of like, dude, what's going on here? But anyway.
Some people just need to get a hobby or get a life.
Yeah,
find something else to do, like stay off the internet all day.
Yeah, or focus on your team and focus on football. Like I know we talk about scum a lot. We're rivals. That's what we do. That's why the rivalry is so good. I could care less how much a scum podcast talks about Ohio State. I want them to.
Yeah.
I love it. I love hearing what they got to say and clowning on. That's what makes the rivalry good. That's what we're supposed to do. But when you start when you don't personally like somebody and you start to see that leak into the rivalry, it kind of gets yucky. And I don't know.
And the crazy thing, how do you
It's
personally
weird.
not like someone that you never personally ever met? They don't even know that you actually exist at all. So like, it's just crazy. It's just weird energy to me. I mean, there's a lot of weird people out here.
Yeah. Yeah, Robert, I'm sure it's happened, man. Yeah, everybody's got their own personal reasons for why or they do or why they don't watch shows. You have that right. You're a person. That's fine. I'm not going to look at you differently because of who you watch and who you don't watch.
Right.
That's what I'm not going to do.
Exactly.
I just not going to do that. Like if you don't watch Scoop, I love Scoop. Kirk Barton's one of my really good friends. But if you say you don't like Scoop and you don't watch Scoop, that's not going to change how I look at you. Now, if you like tweet bad about him all the time, I might be like, what's going on? Are you okay? Like, why are you doing this? But anyway, God, man, Jesus changes people's hearts. Jesus makes things happen. Conversations happen. I've personally witnessed it. I've seen it. Jesus heals everything, man. He's more powerful than all of us. So praise the Lord, man. He changed me. I was out there working for the devil. And if he changed me, he can change your heart towards a scum fan.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think he can do that. But anyway, no, I'm just joking. That's a joke.
Nah, he could do anything, man.
100%. All right, Mello. Any closing thoughts?
Hey, just remember, forgiveness is in our religion, in our faith, it's not optional. Like it's a commandment. You have to forgive in order to receive forgiveness. But outside of that, just enjoy life. I thank you for being here. And without you guys, there wouldn't be a show. But always keep God first and remember that.
Yeah. Do something for me. If you're listening to me, I want you to do something, man. For the next 3 days, I want you to wake up and the first 3 things out of your mouth, I want you to say out loud 3 things that you are grateful for in life. Before you drink your coffee, before you start talking about work, before you kiss your wife or your kids or anything,
or scroll,
go in the bathroom and just look yourself in the mirror and say 3 things that you're grateful for in this life. And then next time I see you guys, I'm going to ask you how that went. I'm going to make a note now. We'll see how it goes, because I'll tell you right now, very powerful tool for me in my life. I don't always do it, but when I do, I love it, man. That's what Jesus does. But we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Share this feed if you would for us. Spread the word about the channel. We love the growth. The growth means better shows, more giveaways, more things for y'all. Anything we get, we put back in this channel. This is for fun for us. We try to make it fun for y'all. Let us know if you want to come on or got any advice for shows for us, anything you guys want us to do. We'll be more than willing to look into it, see if it's something we can do. But on that note, go Buckeyes. OH.
Ayo.